The longer I live in BGC, the more I appreciate living within this business district in the Philippines. And in today's video, I'm going to go over a number of reasons why it's more practical and more convenient to live here versus anywhere else in Manila. And I might even draw some comparisons to Bangkok in Thailand. Because for expats looking to move over to Asia, Thailand and the Philippines are probably the two most popular or biggest contenders when it comes to moving to Southeast Asia. The first reason has something to do with the weather. We're currently in the monsoon period here in the Philippines, and it rains pretty much every day from about 5 p.m. Today, actually, the rain has come a little early, as the time is around about 2 p.m. and it's already started drizzling, and I'm just waiting for it to pour down. But when it rains here in the Philippines, it makes it really tricky and difficult to get around. So if you're somewhere else in Makati or like in Ortigas and you want to come back to BGC or go anywhere else in Manila, then you're going to have problems trying to get a Grab, because whenever it rains, I think either the demand for Grab, which is a taxi, goes through the roof, or drivers just don't want to work when it's raining and they choose to go home. One or the other has to be true, or maybe it's a combination of both. And when that happens, you have to literally spend about an hour or two waiting for a taxi just to get home. And this literally happened to me yesterday while I was at SM Aura. We couldn't secure a Grab, and so we ended up actually having to walk from SM Aura all the way to Uptown, which took about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, depending on your pace. But if I was somewhere in Ortigas, or if I was somewhere like in Quezon City, I would be stranded in those areas, just waiting for a Grab, hoping for somebody to accept. But living within BGC, everything is within, I guess, walkable distance, and it's doable because the pavements are so big and they're so wide, and they're very, very comfortable to go for like a leisurely stroll. And it was actually really nice and pleasant to walk from SM Aura yesterday all the way to Uptown, even though it's a bit far. It was just really cool. Now you couldn't have the same experience if you were living elsewhere outside of BGC. It would be a pain. And I think that's a super underappreciated factor about living here, because you waste so much time just waiting for a taxi, and to have to wait in the rain or under a cover for an hour or two just for a taxi to accept your order to get you home, it's really frustrating. And it's one of the most frustrating things about living in Metro Manila. But in BGC, when you're in BGC, you don't have that problem because everything is located within walking distance. Now, some of you watching this video are obviously going to be thinking to yourself, but BGC is too expensive, the rents are too high, I'd rather go somewhere where the rents are much cheaper, like across the river in Mandaluyong, where you can get like a 1-bedroom apartment, which is 27 square meters for about 15,000 pesos, 20,000 pesos, or even further out, where it's even cheaper maybe. But when you factor in the local area where these condominiums are located in places like Ortigas, there isn't a whole lot to do, in my personal opinion, in that area. You usually have to get some sort of mode of transportation from those condominiums to get to like the mall, or to get to somewhere where you can get like your local Starbucks, etc., or a place where like you want to relax or go to a park, etc. So you're gonna have to spend money on a taxi fare, and when you add all those taxi fares up, it's going to cost almost the same when you factor that in as if you were living in BGC. I've done the calculations, like Grab fare is about 150 pesos, 200 pesos, 150, 200 multiplied by 2. Now 400 pesos multiplied by 30, or let's say during peak time it gets even higher. We'll round the number up to 500 pesos. That's 15,000 pesos just on Grab. And now if you're paying 15,000 pesos in Mandaluyong and you're paying 15,000 pesos just to get around on a Grab, that's 30,000 pesos in total. And you can get an accommodation unit in BGC, such as like in the Vida Tower or in one Uptown, or maybe even the high-end Mitsukoshi Mall for around about 30,000 pesos. I mean, it's not going to be the most beautiful unit you've ever seen, but it will contain basic furniture. And if you go like right on the other side of BGC where the fort is, you can find condominiums in that area for maybe 25,000 pesos. I mean, it's a bit of a needle in a haystack, but there are. And you just have to search a lot and ask around a lot. I currently know somebody living in the Rise residences in Makati by the Shank, and they're paying 30,000 pesos for a smaller unit, which is around about 30 square meters in Makati. And like, when you drop down from the condo, there's nothing there. And if I chose to live in those areas, I personally would probably find myself coming to BGC almost every day, because what BGC offers is an ambience unlike anywhere else that I've seen thus far in Metro Manila. Now, it's not a fair comparison to compare BGC to like the provinces, etc., because those are two completely different vibes. But within Metro Manila, there's just nothing like it thus far. Maybe in 5-10 years time, with the completion of Bridgetown, which is somewhere over there, maybe there'll be something rivaling BGC. But for now, in the meantime, for the next 5 to 10 years, I don't foresee anything else at the moment. And this is the ambience or the vibe that I'm talking about. This is a business district or a business hub, also a residential area too. But although this place does get busy with traffic and cars, etc., it's still relatively quiet and peaceful in comparison to other places in Metro Manila or even cities like Bangkok. My biggest problem with living in Bangkok is the fact that it is just overcrowded. There is way too much tourism and it's just too chaotic. It's not a peaceful environment. There's a lot of energy and a lot of things to do and a lot of excitement. But for peace of mind, living in the center of Bangkok is just, it's not like here. If you're not a vlogger like me who's always constantly looking for things to shoot or to find stimulus to create these videos, then you will have a cracking time. Now, most foreigners that have been to Bangkok and that have been to the Philippines in BGC do not make the move because of one issue that always crops up. They always tell you that there's a limitation of food here, as opposed to Bangkok, Thailand. And I'm not gonna sit here and deny that and say that's false. I would say that is true. Bangkok does have more variety. It's just a given. But you know, where BGC lacks kind of like variety of food, it excels in other fields like peace of mind and tranquility. If you're someone who doesn't like to sweat profusely like me by just going for a walk, then the temperature here versus other parts of Manila is very, very different due to the pollution. Over there, you feel very hot, very sticky, and you can sweat really easily, whereas in BGC, the air feels a lot fresher, even though they're like so close to each other. I'm making this video not to throw shade at any particular city in Manila or even foreign cities like Bangkok, etc. I'm just trying to bring light to a couple factors that may make you want to decide to live here or move here. And of course, we can't forget about these scooters that I use almost every day and are possible to ride around because of the big pavements here in BGC. The pavements is something that I really, really love. For walking, for running, for riding an electric scooter. They're so big and wide, and also even on a really busy day here in BGC, it doesn't feel claustrophobic because the pavements can handle the amount of people coming here. And now this next point may trigger a few foreigners. You know, until you live in Asia, you don't really understand or appreciate how convenient having malls are. Especially in a hot Asian country like the Philippines. Having malls is a must, it's essential. And here in the Uptown area, we have, I think, 3. We've got Uptown Mall, we've got Mitsukoshi Mall, we've also got Landers, which is, it was supposed to be a mall. It's not quite a mall, it's a supermarket. So whenever I want to go eat something or just cool down, I either head to one of 3. Well folks, I think I'm going to wrap up today's video here. If you enjoyed the reasons to move to BGC, let me know in the comments below. If you have any other video ideas that you would like me to kind of delve into or create a video about, also let me know in the comments below. But I'm going to wrap up today's video here. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like today's video, and share it with friends and family. And I'll see you in the next video here on the channel. Many thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and bye for now.